Hello, Sana team. This is Raj, your mentor. Speaking about this week's assignment, uh, the rubric of grading will fundamentally be about your marketing page for this assignment. So let me, and since Paul has assigned the animation on my card, so I would like to coach you guys to see how we can do this so you can all get good grades. At the same time, we are hoping to build value in company or in the product. Now, to do this, let's take a look at what a few things we have already in place. We have Sonar Twitter account, okay, which is great. We have the recommendation engine by Elena Thomas. Then there is the product, the healthy tips. I want you to think of this logo. This logo is what the customers, the target customers, are going to associate Sana with. So I think this logo is a key when it comes to reminding them about who Sana is and what they do and what it means to them. And let's listen to Professor Easley to see what he has to say about what's most important.
So what do you think is the single most important concept when you're thinking about your marketing strategy? To me, this is your positioning. Sometimes this is known as your elevator pitch. So I want to give you a couple of examples here. The first comes from Guy Kawasaki's horizontal analysis. So he recommends filling in the blanks in these statements. For who the target customer is, who have some need, that the product or service name is in this category and provides this certain benefit. So think for a minute if you can fill in the blanks in these sentences with your own venture.
Okay, so if we check on who our target audience or customer segmentation part is, as you can see, there's not much there. No precise measurement on what segment we are going to target. So I would like to focus on that for this mentoring session, and would here are some of my thoughts on how looking at all the moving parts on how this should where we should start to target first. Okay, this is the CDC website, which is the Central of Disease Control and Prevention. It started in the late 1800s, early 1900s. It took off through NIH, which has now become NIH, which is the largest funding organization for healthcare when it comes to taking care of public health. This includes health education, disease control prevention, plague management, the whole thing. Okay, so as you can see, this is a government website, and even though they have Twitter, Facebook, and ShareLink, they really don't recommend any products or apps on their website. So an RSS feed for Sana would have been nice here, but in order to do that, there needs to be some really value built in, and it needs to be consistent with their goal and the target. Okay, here is one target with this adolescents at school. Now, Elena Thomas talked about building a complex recommendation algorithm, and I think this is the best I could come up with as an alternative to the current target market that you guys have. where the students are in a controlled environment at school, and they're in controlled environment at um, home as well. They don't drive yet. Okay, so all adolescents who do not have driving license, okay, and who are intelligent enough to make their own healthy choices, I think targeting them, and those are the kids who use the app all the time, okay, and they're on the phone, they're texting. So I think there would be no learning curve here there. I think that would be great. Now, if you remember, uh, okay, so let's take a look at the layer one, health and wellness providers. It says paying customers. Okay, so how the school children are going to be paying customers? Okay, well, let's focus on health and wellness providers first. Now, this is the health education department for the government of LA, LA County. Now, I choose LA County because it has a population in 2010 is over 10 million, and you guys need numbers. So because you guys are startup, you guys need that traction. So, but you could pick any. You could pick New York if that county has one of the largest. Um, but take a look at this public health education collaborative approach that these people are doing. And here is they are more and more going towards using Facebook and Twitter to reach out to general public for health education. They have not started with apps just yet, but they are not very far off. So market penetration may not be very difficult if you are able to demonstrate some good value in what Sana app has to offer. Uh, yeah, let's take a look at this slide right here, and let's see what this one has to say. It says, Choice Choice Health LA is an effort by Los Angeles County Department of Health to build a healthier, more satisfying place to live, learn, work, and play for all residents. Okay, does this sound something that Sana wants to do? Is cause some changes? So they are more focused on reaching out and educating people on health. They have no clue if that education is working. Okay, you guys have tools that Sana Health provides that you can measure the difference that happens in people's life. People can change their health behavior. Okay, so if there is some way the health behavior can be measured, so the change uh, can be measured, they would be definitely interested at the county level. And these are all funded by the government, CDC, NIH, and some local private entities that fund the public health department to make sure the citizens stay healthy. Here's the data from 2013. It is 10 million population, and you even have a name of a person who makes the decision. I'm hoping, uh, or you can go through the board how that works. Okay, so this is on Wikipedia. Okay, all right. Okay, when I said motion animation, I meant um, something along the line of measuring some statistical information and showing how the behavior changed, and thereby demonstrating not only to the user that you know that they can measure on if they're doing well or not well, but also at the county level you can show how using Sauna app it's making a difference. Now, Go Animate is an excellent tool that Elena Thomas recommended to use. I think it's one of the best ways to go. But in that tool, what you want to show is something along the line like this. Okay, you see how this changes? So we have circles, we have bars, and we have maps. Okay, you probably want to combine all three. Uh, okay, and I'll show you in a minute on how to do that. Okay, before I get to that, I want to show you where this comes from. Okay, it comes from another bars data, and which are basically Excel data points that it's using to do this motion animation. Okay, so what things we could measure that would help with okay, one thing is behavioral outcome. Okay, and this is on the same from CDC website. Okay, and clear health goals. Okay, so those are the two variable variants. Okay, see, I'm using the word variable variance. I don't know if it's a new term, but so they have variables in it. So anyway, if you guys can read this as to what they need as far as how they think uh, the curriculum of of healthy behavior should be uh, catered. So in fact, this 15 points are template for how to teach the student using the Sana app to make behavioral modification that leads to healthy goals. Okay, and this is under characteristics of effective curriculum under health.gov. Okay, so take a look at how mathematics can show motion animation. Okay, if you go to this site openprocessing.org, it's been there for almost 4 or 5 years now, but recently due to HTML5 and JavaScript, uh, there is a lot of support, and we have Danny, who's expert in JavaScript. He may be more than happy to write the script and a code so that you can put on the marketing page. Okay, so what you do is you go here, you type in square. Now why square? Because Sana has that blue square inside which there's a white heart. Okay, so we do a square, and then let's see what looks interesting. Now most of this I don't recommend clicking on these, um, uh, the 2010 ones, but the 2014 and 13 are okay because those are written in JavaScript. These are probably written in using Java that makes calls outside the sandbox because the processing power is too um, is too much for the server. Okay, so anyways, I don't want to get into technicality of it right now because this is only going to be a 10-minute video, and since you guys are spending listening to me for 10 minutes, our mentoring session is cut down to 50. Okay, so okay, this is something I thought would be pretty cool. Okay, so this is done using JavaScript, and we can ask one of the students that does this. So let's say if um, each square is a representation with the county map in the background, and you were seeing which if this is moving clockwise, anti-clockwise. So if they're making progress, clockwise. If they're making not, if they're if they're making, if they're going in the opposite direction, you can do anti-clockwise. Maybe you can play with colors as well, for active, inactive users. So with GPS, you can track this, but don't dig below the county level map. You don't want to show individual homes here. People may not like that. Okay, because it's a health related issue. People are private. You don't want, uh, you know, to dig below. Just stop at the county level. Okay. Um, and here is, um, so somebody who has maybe, just starting off, has a small square, and then as they make progress, they would increase the size of the square. So the bigger the square, the more success the person has. Now, uh, that would be just measuring the goals. So the goals equivalent uh, to the square. Okay. Now, the heart, which is located inside the square, you could make that heart, um, big, small, outside, overlapping. Um, you know, if it's already, so the ideal one would be a heart centered with proportionate space between the square and the heart, like it shows over here. Okay, so this would be the ideal state. So if one has a very bad health, then this heart would be bigger, or outside, or something along those lines, or it would be maybe shape of a circle rather than a heart, uh, something like so. Okay, so, now the tricky part is how to build a pivot table, so we can do this. Okay, all right. So let's talk about it tomorrow in the meeting. Okay, and Carol has a good background in statistical analysis, so let's pick a brain and find out, if she has any ideas. And Ishmael is more than welcome and happy to contribute to, um, uh, the team mentor panel that we are going to have. If Ishmael shows up at the mentor meeting tomorrow, we can do, Paula, and then Simon and Randy, trio. Okay, and then that would be a good thing, good way to go. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to end this with a short note on what's what needs to be taken care of as far as fixing the product is concerned. Okay, so here it is. Okay, the fitness stack exchange that Elena Thomas sent out seems to be very good, and portrays quite accurately about what Sana is planning to do. So keeping a pulse on this is not help. What they do is, if there is a post, it's get put on hold that is not related to fitness. So if there is a poll, or a question put that goes beyond, discussing something that's not related to healthy tips, mainly food and, eating. So I think if you can focus on food first, because food and health kind of goes in hand in hand, and then people can expand on other healthy tips. But these people have, this is not the first one I've seen. There are a couple of other ones. If you Google, I mean, if you do a search on, let me show you one. Okay, so to sum it all up, what I'm going to do is, mark it that I have coached you by tomorrow. So I'm going to mark this assignment done if nobody has questions. But I the good approach would be to do this. Make a Go Animate would be a good video, but what are you going to present in the Go Animate? Not what just these the presentation that Sean made of a guy crossing on the cross street and showing two burgers, or a healthy choice. I mean, that's given. Okay, we are working towards adding more value or building value to the product of what is already there. Okay, so to do that, I'm recommending motion animation using some statistical data. So collecting data points whereby the user can tell if they are making progress or if they are not making progress. By the way, I really like this um, for link. It's a great link that tells you, what users like. One of the things users don't want to do is, um, read. So uh, and so they would rather have a video in there. So and substitute to video if a motion animation which has mathematics on it, by which just looking at it they can track their progress, how close they are to their goal, that would be idle towards making the change in behavior. Okay. All right. So thank you guys. This is 15-minute video, so our mentoring session is going to be cut down to 45 minutes now. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.